Where do you start with your customer service research? I just got off the phone with a huge national brand who are about to go global. Now, they've already got clothing stores, but they're going to open a different line of clothing stores, the name of which I don't even know yet. It's only a couple of stores, but they've got big plans. Now, the question was, where do we start? So they talked about Net Promoter Score, they talked about customer surveys, they talked about QR codes, they talked about all sorts of things, and they also talked about mystery shopping. So here's the thing, where you start depends on where you are. So at the moment, they're at the strategic stage. They've decided on a strategy and they are in implementation. So they're getting very, very close to execution where the rubber hits the road. What I would suggest to them, and what I did suggest to them, is you don't worry about the customer surveys, the net promoter scores, and those types of things. They're going to be a little bit polluted by the newness of the store. Everything's new, everything's exciting, and there's a lot of hype. So what's going to happen is you're probably going to get an over-indexing of the customer feedback. But the thing is, you could measure that, but it takes resources, not only money, but there's so much going on. They're just worried about, well, we've got to make sure the point of sale terminals work. We've got to make sure that the uniforms all arrive. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. What I suggested they do is do mystery shopping at the very, very beginning, because what it's going to do is it's going to help them understand whether their strategy is being executed. And at this point in time, what they need to know is whether their training and their processes are actually working. Did it get through? It's no use having a whole bunch of people come into exciting new stores only for there to be no stock, for it to be messy, for the staff not to understand what the stock's all about, for the staff not to be able to close a sale, cross-sell, not knowing what the cross-sales are doing. That's more important. I've even said to them, stay away from the cash register. Don't evaluate the cash register. At this point in time, you want to go to the very top of the funnel, as I keep saying, and find out what's happening at the top, and then to work their way down, understand what the cash register is doing. So get some of our mystery shoppers to do transactions, and then to start looking at things like your surveys, your net promoter score, and those types of things. But they can be a little way down the track. For the time being, when you have a new store or new store, so even if you're a proprietor out there with one store and you're opening a second one, if you're opening the second store, be very careful of the processes. Don't concern yourself yet about things like customer feedback, because it's not going to tell you what you need to know right now. And more data is only going to confuse you even more. I'm Stephen DiPietro. That's why I do mystery shopping.